good afternoon. Good afternoon, and you're welcome to Zed 101.9 FM. My name is Naa Bia, and you're welcome to Zed Decor Live. As usual, every Friday we give a very interactive discussion concerning the built industry in Ghana. The built industry is a very important one, and there are so many facets to it. You would think that it only concerns furnishing, but it concerns those who are supplying critical raw materials and those of us who are assembling and putting all these things together. There are other facets of insurance, there are other facets of fire service, there are other facets of even education. Yes, education is important. So today we are narrowing down the discussion on furnishing in our classrooms. Well, our kids are back in school and we have to look at how are we furnishing our spaces. It's a topical issue. We always talk about it, school under trees. We always talk about how to build efficient institutions or adequate functional institutions that our kids can learn in. Just today, I was reading something about the president launching of the kind of facilities that are going to be built to house people who are going to study and sort of build upon the AI infrastructure for Ghana. So learning is critical, but the infrastructure, the things that are going to be in that space that people can walk in, sit, think, create is very, very important. So that's why this discussion is important. Today I have two people. Is it a battle, Ghana versus Germany? But yes, I have two people. One is here in Ghana and one is in Germany, and we're going to do a versus to see. But the whole idea is to ensure that we understand that furnishing is important. Furnishing must be deliberate. Furnishing must be functional, or else what kind of human resource are we producing? Okay, so we'll do a spot of music, do a quick DIY, and then we'll go into the discussion. But don't tune off, right? This is Z101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business platform. New song. Hey, Camilo has a new song. Okay. My DJ doesn't help me. Oh. He will just be there and be giving me the songs. Meanwhile, he will not anyway. So we are back and it's time for our quick DIY. Today our DIY, I want to focus on the kind of fabrics that we should use so that we do not scratch our furniture. I have been talking about this for a minute now since last year, and I say if you do not have the prescribed fabric, which I will talk about in a minute, always use your old t-shirt. Your t-shirt is made out of cotton. It is soft. It can soak liquid, and it's actually the best that you can use. But I've realized that people who reach out to me keep telling me that, oh, I used a particular fabric and it's scratched. I don't have cotton t-shirts. My t-shirt is a jersey fabric. I'm like, no, right? Let me just use this opportunity to talk about the proper fabric which you should purchase when you want to clean your fabric at home. It's called microfiber. It's similar to what, when you go to the washing bay, what these boys use, normally bright yellow or bright green, what they normally use is called microfiber, right? Now, those who work on the upholstery in the for the car seats, they are also intentional because those seats are seats that we sit on as we drive, and it's supposed to last for a period of time. So they also use these microfiber fabrics or intentionally make them for the car industry or the automobile industry, right? Is that same fabric that we also use for our furnishing industry. So always look for microfiber fabrics. It's one of the most important fabrics when it comes to cleaning upholstery, especially for leather, right? If you're somebody who has invested in leather seats, one thing you have to always look out for, if you don't have microfiber, is to look out for your old t-shirt. It will not scratch the leather. But if you really are intent on doing the right thing or going strictly by the book, then you have to look for microfiber. All right. So that is our DIY segment for today. If you just tuned in, you're listening to Zed Decor Live, Z101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business platform. And today I have a versus. I have Ghana versus Germany. And the Germans want to bluff, but they lie bad. They lie bad. All right. So we won't do a break. Let's just go straight into the discussion because it's a very important and lengthy discussion. And I'll let my guests introduce themselves. Let's start with the ladies first. So hello
Naa. Good afternoon and good afternoon to your listeners.
Yeah, thank you.
My name is Adelaide Ansah, and I'm managing partner for Lead After School, which is an after school center located in East Legon.
And I can't afford, I'm just already in there. I can't afford mode. Yes. And Mr. Please, who at that?
So thank you for having me, Naa Bia, and good afternoon to all your listeners. Mm-hmm. My name is Kofi Boachie-Danquah.
Your name is too much.
Yes, I feel like we have somebody in common. You should tell that too. And yes, I work with a private university in Germany, and I'll be talking about the German perspective on your show today. So yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right, let me start with you, Adelaide. Let me shorten your name, Adele. Yeah. That topic, when you saw it, how did you understand it?
I thought it was an exciting subject matter, and it's something that has the potential of creating a huge experience if we factor that into our educational or our classroom setup. Because it's one thing that we held really, really high when we were putting our after-school center together. So I thought it's such an interesting, and I look forward to what is going to come out of this discussion. Yes.
Okay. Mr. Boachie-Danquah.
Yes.
How did you your intro? when you saw the topic?
I mean, I thought about it as like Adele talked about, the mediums through which, we create an avenue for students to learn. That it's not just about what they are being taught, it's not just about where they are being taught, but then also the setting in which this learning happens. So this is how I thought about the topic, this is how I understood it, and I'm really looking forward to sharing my perspective on what that means.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me stay with you. You have had the, shall I call it privilege, or you have had the experience of going to primary school from creche all the way to uni here, then the Germans hijacked you and you are gone. What was the first shock? What was the shock factor when I know you had, no, I know you, you went to continue further your education in Germany. What was the first thing, that shock when you entered the classroom? What was the first thing?
I think for me it was how inviting the classrooms were. It was how roomy, how comfortable they were. It was how you wanted to sit in the classrooms.
Stay in the classroom.
You wanted to stay in the classrooms because the classrooms were comfortable. They were full of light. The furniture was comfortable. It was arranged properly. It was comfortable to sit all those hours back to back, on the furniture. So I think this for me was the first shock. And then also when you go into the other facilities, you talk about the libraries and all of the other places, you just realize that, wow, learning is not just about what you are being taught, but also the experience through which you are being taught the subject matter. And I think this was the first thing I picked when I was privileged to be able to see that contrast. Yes.
So have we lost the plot, Adele?
We haven't lost the plot. I think we're still very much, very central to the conversation, because I have an additional perspective as well. Because I also had the opportunity of studying at some point in the UK. And I think in comparison to what we have here, those over there pay a lot of attention and they invest a lot into the visuals. We're more focused on the content, but they are more focused on the experience. And for me, there's a huge gap when you compare what is out there and what we have here. And like Kofi mentioned, you look forward to attending lectures and you don't feel bored regardless of what the subject matter is, because you're comfortable. You're sitting in an environment where there's great ventilation. Talk about that. You can breathe. There's good oxygen, your brain can function. Exactly. And they're just little things. And like, it was something I was talking to Kofi about. I was like, seriously, like the African students are so intelligent, right?
Yeah.
We're so intelligent, and we see the difference when we find ourselves studying in the West and we meet all these people coming from all over the world. But our systems don't help us. Our systems don't help us. Imagine when you were young. Can you imagine the hard wooden chairs that we used to sit on? From morning, the hard wooden chairs. And sometimes even just look at the various classroom settings. You have nursery kids. Why on earth are nursery kids sitting on adult chairs with their legs hanging? The blood is not even flowing through properly. So if someone is being naughty in class, do you understand? And these are, they may seem very little, but they are critical.
So does it mean that, Adele, we are not even... You see, when you said we are intelligent, and then my mind just went to all the type of conversations I have had on this platform. It looks like we haven't even invested in the fact that we have experienced people who should sit with us when we are designing classrooms. From you forget about the interior designer. From once you say you're putting it up, from the architect, the structural engineer, you have the person in charge of lighting, because we have the lighting technicians who understand placement of light. We also have proper certified trained plumbers who can even make sure that there's no foul smell.
Yeah.
We have we have to bring the interior design. Like it's like we don't call the technocrats to come and sit and help us design classrooms, because sometimes when I see on the news it say they are about to inaugurate a 6th classroom block, I always look for the windows. You see, the windows are just tiny.
Prison windows.
That's the expression.
Yeah.
Prison windows.
Yeah.
I always look at the windows first and I laugh.
Yeah.
And I look at the roof and then I laugh.
Yeah.
And I look at and the whole thing, but there's a ribbon, we're going to cut sword, and I'm like, anyway, what are your thoughts on that thing?
Naa Bia, how think of our corporate buildings. How do they look like?
You put me in trouble though if I start.
Hey, but that's the reality, and these are the people who are making the decisions, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, think of the homes, the kinds of homes that are being built, even the locations. Do we even do proper, investigation into the type of soil that we're putting these buildings on?
No, we don't.
The heat, even in our homes.
Yeah.
So where we spend most of our comfort in, we don't even think, let alone the classrooms. They're like way down there.
Yeah.
So it's a good conversation. I hope this is not going to end on this show.
No. We are going to expand on it, because Kofi will leave us, but I'll definitely bring back. But let me stay on you. You mentioned that you have a school, right? When you were setting it up, right, what was running through your mind? Let's go into that process.
Right. One thing that I said is that the appearance should be a reflection of who you are.
Okay.
Thankfully, I've had the opportunity to be out there, and I've seen a lot. I've experienced a lot. And for me, with the kind of objective that we had for our after-school center, we want to put up a space where the kids will look forward to running to the center. And boy, haven't we done that. We looked at the kinds of activities that we have for our after-school center. It's an after-school. Nothing about school. Because all the bullying and the stress and the, this one said this and the crying and the thing. I was like, no. This is where you come and you pipe down. So if you're creating a space where children will look forward to coming and piping down and relaxing, we have various activities. We have activities where there's a me time. In the me time, the kids have different things they could do. They could either choose to read, and so you need to make sure there's proper lighting that is suitable for the age range that you're dealing with.
Exactly.
There's also a me time where some of them choose to nap. So
why I hope I'm not interrupting your thoughts. Why did we make that a whole taboo thing that kids must nap and we just leave it for creche? But I look at the Chinese model, and there's sometimes the whole siesta, and you see the classroom transformed.
Do you understand?
Please continue.
Because they're different temperaments, right?
Yes.
You're dealing with children.
Yeah.
So different mood swings, different temperaments. Some of them just want to put their headset on and listen to some music, and some just want a very relaxed atmosphere where they can just lay down and sleep. And so we put all of these things, we factored all of them into, we took them into consideration. And so when we were setting up our place, like, you walk in there and you get the wow reaction. We put a lot of thinking into the colors as well. Bright, warm, engaging, relaxing colors. Those were the kinds.
Weird.
No.
Which we do.
No. And it's an after school, so they should come and chill.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
So these are the me times. We have some time where there's the nature walk. They have their nature walk. So what are you thinking? Is nature. So where they see the greens and they can feel the soil. All of these things were factored into the kind of structure and the kind of design that we put together.
It looks like we think that landscaping is so expensive, or landscaping is not part of the setup, so we ignore that. We just put concrete cement all over. That's awful. That's why Accra is hot.
Imagine like these kids, they come and they each have a garden, a mini garden.
Yeah.
So they look forward to going there, pruning the soil, uprooting weeds, watering. That's a whole activity, you know, and them looking at their plants and talking to them. Can you imagine the different kinds of skills and emotions that they are engaging?
Even the conversation becomes different.
Do you understand? So if we think experience, we would do things better.
Mr. Boachie-Danquah.
Hello.
When you walked into Germany and you saw your university, now let me take you outside the university. How does it look like? Give us a picture of how it looks like.
So are you asking about the university I attended?
Yes,
or?
that's you.
Okay. So it was a very, where I attended university is a former industrial city.
Okay.
So I think the buildings were, you know, structured to pay homage to the industrial feel of the city. You know, lots of steel benders, lots of very circular, very industrial looking buildings, you know. But I think what was very different about it was once you entered, the kind of furniture that was used, you know, the way we had markers or whiteboards at the time, you know, the fact that there were beamers in the classrooms that everybody could have access to. It wasn't a special thing, you know, locked up that only when the professor comes.
Why do we do that here too? I know. Like, what? It's like we punish ourselves. Furnishing is supposed to
be a joy and
like add more dignity to you.
It's only when the professor
Honestly, that was the thing. I was asking, where can we get the key from? They're like, no, it's open. You can use you can use it if you want to. honestly, you can use it if you want to. So everything that you needed to be able to have an enhanced learning and teaching experience was there. And I think the thing was that also because we went for the graduate programs, we have to spend a lot of time, you know, on campus, either in the classrooms, either in the libraries, or using any of the other facilities.
How's the library like? Sorry for interrupting, but how's the library like?
I mean, how much time do we have?
You are me.
You know?
You are me. Nothing wants to talk about the experience where you just blow the wind and then the book starts falling off, right?
Are we in Hogwarts? It's not Harry Potter.
You know where you know, for us back in the day when they said go to the library and learn, it sounded like a punishment.
Exactly. It's like a punishment,
It
right?
sounded like a big punishment. Go to the library and learn. But no, it's an absolute joy to go to these libraries. They are the places where, you know, the students can sit without any noise. They are the places where you can have a group discussion. They are the places where you can just sit and chill, listen to music, have something and eat. I think, Adele, when we visited, you know, the University of Göttingen's library, it was floors,
books
stacked,
you know, and the
different
architecture.
Dimensions. Yes,
You go on the lift and you see the design.
the design. Yes,
the design.
Yes, this was basically what it was. You know, so everything really invites you to learn. Everything really enhances your learning experience. I mean, after that, I've also worked in higher education, so I've also had the perspective of seeing another library, which is designed for, you know, both management and then technology programs like we run at my university, and it's designed for that, you know. So you go into the library and there are layouts like you'd find in any corporate office. There are meeting rooms, there are leather sofas, you know, it's giving you yes, leather sofas. Leather sofas. It's giving you the experience of being within a corporate space even before you get there, because these are the kind of things you will experience, you know. So it's a joy to learn. Let's call it that. It invites you to learn.
Pretty much preparing career-ready students.
Absolutely.
So nothing will shock you.
Absolutely.
When you are in the working world.
Absolutely.
Because you have a prototype of that.
Absolutely.
In your learning environment.
You know, until I started actively being in this furniture space, and then I realized that sometimes our teachers, it's not because they hated us or they didn't like us, but they were also frustrated mentally by their setup.
Yeah.
You look at the staff common rooms. I just remember our staff common rooms.
Oh,
You know, so this is somebody who probably wants to have a quiet lunch of salad and maybe a drink, then he or she enters the staff common room and there's Boachie-Danquah, kinking, there's noise. There's nowhere for this teacher, he or she, to go and sit quietly. They're so like the roof, there's nothing. They look up and awful. There's no, the chairs are threadbare. The floor, if they're not lucky and the floor hasn't been done properly, there's a torn carpet.
True.
Right. So this is their break. So they go and eat. They are forced to be in that environment. Then the bell goes, break over. Then they are forced to come into the classroom. They
the vent up emotions.
They will cane you.
They will cane
So
you.
It was this whole
That's
discussion.
another interesting
Yes.
perspective that you brought.
Yes. So this whole furnishing discussion of me being like, this is what was happening to our teachers. You put aside, and you see all these discussions, mental health, all these things.
There's a source.
Because imagine a calm office for them, a calm restroom, a calm staff common room, where it doesn't even have to be air conditioned, but enough ventilation. Even if they even had proper kitchens, they could go and sit, kitchenettes. Because schools which are properly planned, who have that, the lecturers and the teachers don't do that to the students. Have you seen where
it's deeper than what we're seeing. Very, very deep. Because I can, and it's very, like, you don't need all the money in the world.
No, you
right?
don't.
And you can partition it. Those who want to make the noise could choose and with all the phone calls and the loud talking and whatnot. And those who need some peace and quiet. Maybe someone just want to sip water and just breathe. Take some deep breath for like 15, 20 minutes and probably go back to the class. They don't need all this in your ears. Right? So we have a long way to go now.
That's why I asked you intentionally, have we lost the plot? And you said no.
No.
You see, it was a very intentional question I asked you. Have we lost the plot?
But you see, at the end of the day, it's sometimes I feel it's ignorance. And I don't think this kind of conversation should even be limited to the classrooms. Pick our government sectors. Have you been to the ministries?
I want to do my Ghana card.
Let's not even start.
It's awful.
But these are the people who need to make the decision.
Yes.
So that it trickles down to our classrooms.
And I think, staying on that point, I think it's only those who have the clarity of thought are those who have been moved into new offices. Because when you look at least the finance ministry, they have a new building. I'm sure all these things function, aesthetic and all of that. I don't want to mention another ministry, but I can compare it to some ministry. And I'm sure
and
all
there's
those
a vast difference.
All those civil servants, they're upset. Like it's not like they get to their office and there's anger. Automatic anger.
So why don't they work efficiently? Because they don't have the facilities that enables them. Good internet. So no one should come and beat me here. But even just a simple thing as that, the surface, the smell, and I'm into scents and smells. It's such a big thing for me, because the scent and the smell could either irritate your senses or calm you.
It's until you leave the shores of Ghana and you go to a proper developed country and realize that, hey, you stink.
I'm telling you.
You realize that Ghana,
do you
smell.
understand? Cleanliness. We're talking furnishing. Let's not forget about that.
No, it's all part of the discussion.
Exactly.
No, it's like a critical
being
part
in
of
a
it.
clean space. Do you know what that does to you?
You think,
you think.
Your mind opens.
Do you understand?
Kofi, don't laugh. It's a serious thing.
I'm telling you.
I feel like I'm winning.
You're winning.
I'm winning. I feel like you guys are making all my points for me. So
serious. Serious. So the facilities are not helping. The people around you too. The personal hygiene and the thing. So this the environment is fighting you,
Yes.
and your work colleagues
Yes.
are fighting you
fighting
with
you.
their
Yeah.
personal hygiene issues.
Yeah.
How will you think?
You cannot think.
You don't want to come at 9,
Mm-mm.
show up at 10:30.
Mm-mm.
By 3 o'clock, you want to leave.
Yes, 2:30.
Because
I
you
look at the
can't
time.
breathe.
Yes, by 2:30,
Yeah.
you want to leave. You don't want to
Because
stay
you
in the
can't
office.
breathe.
Yes,
Yeah, you can't breathe. And the colors that they choose.
yes, clashing.
Mm.
Your eyes.
Your eyes, your spirit
It's
is
all
irritated.
You're depressed,
You're depressed.
automatically.
Yes.
Frustrated.
Mm.
Kofi Clero.
Okay, so I've won.
How is facility management like?
So typically on some of these campuses, we have a facility manager who, is on the campus with us. We do not have to wait for somebody or to put in a request, then somebody receives it and then comes, this person is on campus with us. This person tends to everything that needs to be done, So there's a leak, there's a problem with plumbing, there's a problem with the lighting. This person is on campus to make sure that everything is fixed. So we typically do not have to wait, the length of time that you would have to find in some other places for things to be addressed or to be done properly. And I think that also helps with the experience. You know that you go to a place and you have a shaky chair, a beamer that's not working, a monitor that's not functioning properly, but you are able to find someone who can just fix that for you immediately. You go to class today and there's a problem with the sound system. By 8 a.m. the next day when you come, it's already been fixed because this is also what enhances the teaching and the learning experience. So the facility management aspect of it is also very important because this is what goes a long way to be able to create that avenue for the students to come in, for it to be an enjoyable experience when they begin their lectures, during the process, or even after. This is also a really critical part of the whole experience. Yes.
And the facility manager is actually a trained technocrat, right?
Yes.
And not just anybody we just...
No. This is somebody who is trained, in the art of facility management. When I was coming to Ghana on this trip, we were looking to hire a new person because our facility manager was retiring. And yes, the criteria which was set out, you need to have a diploma in facility management. You need to be somebody who understands the key elements, so lighting, furniture repairs, sound ventilation, yes, because it echoes through the rooms. You need to be able to understand, for example, roofing. It doesn't mean you need to be the expert on all these things, but of course, like with first aid, if there's anything that happens, you are our first point of contact. So you need to be able to put in a stopgap before maybe we need to call somebody else to be able to do that. So it really goes a very long way to enhance the experience for the students, even for the staff, like you were talking about. Maybe now is not a good time to tell you people that our students have access to a plaza where they can heat their food, they can get Starbucks if they want, they can get
very annoying. I'm very annoying.
You're welcome to study with us if you want to.
Very annoying.
But yes, all of these things enhance the experience. So you find that the universities cater to the students. And I mean, also considering that these are international students, they are coming, they don't know the country, they don't know the culture. You have to really curate a good experience for them to be able to be comfortable.
Curation is the word.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is basically it.
And just
yes.
double clicking on what Kofi said, I think there has to be a sense of responsibility as well, because I know quite a number of universities also contract these services out, and there's a way they can sue you if if things go wrong, if somebody slips and falls.
Yeah.
Had you put a sign that says that watch slippery floor or things like that,
freshly waxed?
do you understand? So there is that. If you don't do this, this is what's going to happen to you. And so everybody is on their toes, making sure that this place is clean, this place is washed, this place is ironed, things like that. And that also, like you said, adds to the experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's because they pay attention and they place importance on these things as well. We wouldn't wait until, and even pick the normal roads, right? sometimes, you close from work, if you live abroad and you are going and like, by 7 o'clock, there's something that is saying that men at work or whatever. The next day you're going back to work and the thing is fixed. So whilst you were sleeping, they were busy fixing that, We don't it's that culture.
We don't work at night.
No.
By 4 we've closed.
I thought you people, an emphasis on you people, said you were doing 24-hour economy.
We're going to get there. Kofi, we shall get there.
Don't mind you. Don't bring yourself.
We shall get there. Go to your journey and leave us alone. We are managing.
If you just tuned in, this is Zed 101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business platform. We've had like a crazy, and not crazy in a bad way, good crazy, engaging conversation. We're trying to just in a light mood but serious tone say that, if you want to enhance education, it's not about saying TVET, vocational skill, all of the fancy things we're trying to do. Also, furnishing plays an important role, and it's not just about furnishing, it's a whole thing, even the maintenance of the facility, right? This discussion will be repeated on Sunday at 5 p.m. and it's also being live streamed on Facebook. And in addition, it's also on the YouTube channel of Zed 101.9 FM. Let's talk about maintenance. Kofi, let me harass you. You come from, I say you come because the Germans have hijacked you. Let's look at the university that you are in currently, and let's just, I don't want to be sued by any university in Ghana, but let's maintenance culture. Why are we slacking? What is our thing? Because we mean well. Premier University, we're trying, but what is it?
I think sometimes what happens is that, at least based on the different experiences I've had, is that sometimes people are really just overwhelmed and don't even know where to start from. I feel like sometimes this is really an issue, because when I studied at the business school, I think in my year group alone, we were about 500, and if we were 500 in 1 year group across 4 year groups, that means we're what, 2,000, so people had to, we had 7 o'clock lectures. There were people who would come at 6 o'clock or 5:45 to put their books on a chair, go back, take a shower, and then come back to study at 7:30. Of course, we want people in because this is how we get tuition. We are sure that we can have the space for them. But did we, or do we even have the space for this many people? In our quest to earn money, in our quest to make our businesses profitable, do we sometimes take on more than we should? One of the things with us when we are accrediting our programs is that we are accredited based on a specific number. So we say in every intake, we are taking only, let's say, 25 or 30 students. So as we are being accredited in the sense that we have facilities for 30 students in our class. Our libraries can hold 30 students at any given point. Our classrooms can hold 30 students at any given point. Not 31, 30.
One person will not be
the one person is not allowed. If we go 31, we are breaching the accreditation which has been given to us, and it can be revoked. That we have, for example, 5 books to 6 students, because not all 6 students will be, or 30 students will be at the library, or in the library at the same time. So it makes it easier for us to be able to have an eye on maintenance, because the numbers that we have really tally with the facility that is in use at the moment, right? So that we don't have 100 using what is meant for 30.
An overwhelming
number of students, So if something is not working, if something is broken, if something needs to be fixed, the people have an eye on what needs to be done, because they are not getting the repeated requests every single day. I feel like the facility manager we had when I was doing my bachelor's program, at some point would sit in his office and lock his door. We knew he was in there, but he wouldn't mind us. We knew he was in there, but he wouldn't mind us, because we were going with the same problems every single day, because 400 of us would go for a class. then we're stepping on the chairs. We are going to use the monitor. Somebody has pressed something. The key is locked. The thing is broken. Then he comes to fix it. Then 2 hours later, another 400 will come again for a class and do the same thing.
So he locked his door. He's not there.
He's tired.
Yeah.
He's absolutely tired.
Yeah.
And I think really the people get overwhelmed, with what they have to do, how they have to do it, and even where to start, right? This for me is really, but also the expertise is also another thing. Because if the people are not skilled, maybe they do like a stopgap, but they are not able to call people to come and then fix it. So they are the ones who have to be managing. At some point, the whole system will collapse. And these are the issues.
Adele, have we lost? Let me ask it again. Have we lost the plot? Because you see, we are, as I said today, the president has said he has launched the AI strategy for Ghana. And you see, when you say AI, my mind just went to the kind of fairs that I have been seeing happening in Dubai and in China, the kind of, these are even just exhibitions, but how they've put the exhibition halls together. And look, we don't even have, is it conference center? I look at it as if we want to have an AI exhibition in Ghana. Like
where are we going to hang what?
Like, you get me?
Are we out of touch?
When I asked you the question, you said, look,
answer your own question. This job. I'm trying to answer your question.
So answer your question.
The more we delve deeper, the more frustrated.
You see, because the way I sit, I had this architect here, and I said, should we break down the whole Accra and start again? And he was laughing. I'm like, because meanwhile, I think we should just break the whole city and just start again. Because it's like, you see a very nice house, well built, then just next door, right next door, you're like, what's going on here? You want to have a staycation, you go to a nice hotel in Accra, you open your windows, you want to get a nice view, open and you're like, But this is like one of top class hotel. You open and
what you see
outside is, it's
not what you paid for.
And me, from the furnishing space, I'm like, let's break everything.
Do you understand?
And just because we have the engineers, we have the interior designers, we have the architects, we have everybody here.
But isn't everyone cutting corners?
Now you sound like the surveyor who came here. That's his biggest thing now. He says the cutting corners is what it's what is.
Because I think there's so much advancement.
Yes.
And look at the kinds of buildings that our own people are building, putting up. All these real estates, the Mirage and the whatnots. You drive around airports, you see them. Nice.
Kofi's Chado.
All of that.
At airport
So they know what to do. They know the right thing. Are they doing them? Are they being allowed to do what they have to do? Because they know them.
So then it comes down to enforcement. That means a district, because ours is always district and municipal. District and municipal, they have to. You see, the laws are there. It's when you break the law that you realize that
the laws are
there. But the laws, we have
are
written them. Ghanaians, we're so intelligent. We've written them.
They're gathering dust.
Doing what?
Sitting there.
So that's what?
Gathering dust.
So that's what?
So there has to be some enforcement of some sort. I mean, I always use this example, and I say that things, when we're serious about enforcing things, it works. You remember we used to drive without caring so much about wearing our seatbelts some years ago.
Yes, now you dare not.
And it's become a lifestyle.
Yes.
Soon as you sit in your car, the first thing you go, before you even put your car into gear, right?
Yeah.
It's because it was constantly being, and people, there were punitive measures.
Yes, the MTTU.
Exactly.
They can harass you just because seatbelt.
Something, exactly. So do we have people who are the various sectors who are, who are empowered to make sure these things are being enforced?
they are there. They're in the district assembly. They are there, but
what is stopping them from empowering these things, like from enforcing and holding people accountable?
they will come to the politics of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was why I gradually, the mining thing.
I'll say it for you.
The mining thing was even just,
Yeah.
all over in my mind. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, let's stay within the
Yeah.
context of our discussion.
Yeah.
But it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
School placement,
Mm.
university placement, all sorts.
Yeah. Because the pressure that we even, you see, let me say it, the pressure that the secondary schools are having now is because the facilities are not there. Yeah, a secondary school that can take 500.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
Kofi
pushing
just
another 300.
1,000.
Yeah.
You're being.
I'm even trying to be nice.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So those sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
Well, I visited one high school and they had turned their dining
hall
into a bedroom.
How?
So then they don't even know how, the courtesy of using the fork and the knife. And the senior house mistress was like, this was what we were teaching them.
Yeah.
But now we had to convert the dining hall. So kids, it's time to eat and their food is on their lap.
How will they even compete?
Yeah.
Compete globally.
Thank you. You're thinking globally.
Because now
We have a problem, that's a Ghana situation.
So my question comes back.
Now let's all agree. Let's all agree. We've lost it. How do we find it?
Yes. I'm glad you see, because how do we?
I was hoping we would find some solution.
No.
Yeah.
The thing right now is we've lost it. How do we find it?
Yes. How can we trace our steps
How can
back?
we trace our steps
To
back?
where? From where?
From accepting that, we cannot move without the infrastructure.
I think by having such conversations,
The conversation should be
it will keep having them.
The conversation should be intentional now,
Absolutely.
because we cannot just keep, we are doing AI, we are doing TVET, we are doing, where are the
From where?
From where are the classrooms?
Ask.
What type of classrooms do we have?
Do you
see,
understand? And don't these kids? I know there are quite a number of high schools who go abroad to do all these international competitions.
Yeah.
Trust me, some of them when they go, they get culture shock because the kinds of things they see.
Yeah.
Probably it shakes them even before they enter the competition.
And do you realize that in our, I want to use the word, everybody should forgive me, our crude facilities here, we go and we even beat them. So that should even tell you that
tells you. What did I say when we started this conversation?
We are very intelligent.
If they will give us more additional something.
Because even in our setup, we go and you see like some girls and boys have maths and their chemistry. I'm like, you want to compete with Chinese and you are first.
And they are first.
Mm-hmm.
And they are first.
They do so well.
Yes, Adriana, I will, put it in a shackle. If we can break that shackle.
Kofi, is it fear?
I don't think it's fear. I think, we live we come from a country where a lot of things are politicized and they shouldn't be. There are other places where no matter who comes and who goes, there's an education policy. And so it is always followed, no matter who is the education minister, no matter who is, the federal chancellor, no matter who is the commissioner for education, there is a policy and it has to be stuck to. Nobody is going to come in and say, okay, a school in the Ashanti region, because you people overwhelmingly vote for one political party over the other, we're not going to fix your classrooms. A school in the Volta region, you're going to get more furniture this year, or a school bus because, you vote for the government in power. No, it doesn't work like this, right? That every university, we have these meetings with the representatives from the regional and also the federal government every quarter, because they want to understand what are our concerns, how can they support us, what can they do for us, should they increase funding in terms of the building management, should they increase funding in terms of, I don't know, the bills that we have to pay, every month, should they increase funding in terms of how they support us to be able to attract students. So it's a conversation that is always in progress.
Intentional conversation.
Very intentional. It doesn't stop because I don't know, my university is in the state of Lower Saxony. It doesn't stop because Lower Saxony votes more for, perhaps the Conservative Party than they do for the Socialist Party. The federal, the Prime Minister of the state, regardless of if he's Conservative or, Socialist, will always need to support us because this is what is required of him. And I think this is where it should start from. People who just say, you know what, I don't care. I need. This is what we're doing. This is it.
Yeah, for the national interest.
For the national interest. For everybody's benefit.
Yeah, exactly.
I think this is where we need to start operating from, and then we will see that a difference or a change can be made. Yes.
I don't know what question to ask you people again because
Naa Bia has seen all the problems.
I see it every day because when from the lawyers who've come, the surveyors, the interior designers, it's like everybody, we are saying different things, but we're saying one thing. One thing. It's that we have the laws, we have the ability to transform our country, but we are just stuck in it's like a loop. We are just going,
just chasing that.
Yes, and we're not intentional about what it is that we have to do, and it's very sad because all these things, all these discussions, we always say future leaders, we always say human resource, but how are we training the human resource to come and do the grand things that we are doing? Because some child in Dunquah is sitting somewhere on the floor. He or she hasn't had the experience of, sitting on a desk. Doesn't even understand what aeration is. Doesn't even understand, hasn't even seen or understand what a library is. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned if you go to the north. I've done quite a number of charitable stuff. I work in the study abroad recruitment space, and so as a way of giving back, we recruit. That's why Kofi is sitting here with me today, because we come study international. We recruit, students to go study abroad, and part of the things we do as well is giving back. So I've had various experiences of traveling to the northern part of Ghana, and there was a particular region that we went that we just had to put money together to refurbish the classrooms because the kids slept on the bare floor. The ceiling was nothing to write home about. So when it rains, it all goes in there. They didn't have any writing material. The headmaster was the one who would buy a couple of exercise books and pencils here and there to say, oh, there are few students who come in early. So as a reward, he gives that to them. And this particular school is a voting center. Yes.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah, it's called AME Zion, Narum.
Wow.
Narum in the northern region. Yes, it's a center where they vote. But the kids sleep on the bare floor. It took us to raise money from Accra, send money, they bought materials, and then we fixed the classroom. I haven't been back since, so I don't even know the state. But once in a while, we put things together, footwears, and then we send them to these people. So imagine the lives of those children.
And that's a disconnect. Between what we say human resource, Ghana will have an advantage because our human resource is young and
now
what?
You get to certain places, you ask, are we all in Ghana? Is this part of Ghana?
Here.
Even in Accra here, I always say that.
Yeah, even in Accra here.
Yeah.
You're like, oh wow.
Understand? And sometimes you're like, God, if some miracle doesn't happen, these are the people. This is where they're going to stay for the rest of their lives.
No exposure.
Do you know exposure? But you probably have the next, president, the next person who is going to go to space, the next person who is going to develop some technology to transform everything that we're sitting here and talking about. But that kid is stuck in some village somewhere, doesn't even remember the last time they ate a bowl of rice. They're still doing butter trading. Like, it's crazy.
Even the plate you eat in is all part of it too.
Yeah.
We think it's nothing, but it's not for nothing that people actually sit down, furnishing companies sit down and design plates, design mugs, and there are types of glasses. Like, you see, people don't know. There's a reason why all these things exist, and we kind of make it look like, oh, as Kofi said, it's for some people. No, you see, ideally, everybody should find their level in that space. Yeah. But we've made it look like, oh, some people, if you get them just any lousy plastic plate or a cheap plate or a cheap mug,
all they need is just to put food in it and eat.
No. Furnishing is supposed to add dignity to you, the human being, so that you can.
If you don't have the exposure, how would you even know there's a lack?
That's the thing.
That you're missing out on something.
Sometimes they don't even know.
They don't.
Yeah. They are not even aware, because they are, from the time they wake up to the time they. That's
survival mode.
Survival. Yeah. They're the proper hustlers. Like, anyway, Kofi, your final thoughts, and tell us about where you're coming from. What do we do for you?
My final thoughts are, I still insist that East Legon Hills is near Chado.
Oh no!
This
Kofi.
is my final thought.
No,
but on a more serious note, I'm really glad that we're having this conversation, because, like, I think we've all agreed that certain things should not be for some, and others shouldn't have. It should be something that should be accessible by everyone. Good furniture, good seating, good classroom fixtures should be accessible by everybody, regardless of if you are in a private school, whether you're in a public school. As long as you are studying, it should be part of the package that enables you to be able to get the information that you need in your mind to be able to progress, as and how you want to. I'm glad that we have started today. I hope we will continue. I hope that, the people who man our education offices, who man our regional, our national offices, will really sit down and begin to put in little measures to be able to start enhancing the dignity, like you talked about, of these students. Because, like Adele said, these are the people who at the end of the day are going to do amazing and brilliant things, and they shouldn't be hampered or restricted by where they are. It shouldn't be the case that the fact that it's a private university in Germany is what makes it better. Yeah. Everyone should have access to this. So this is what I would say in conclusion.
Wonderful. All right. You have ended the show. I have nothing else to say. Thank you for tuning in to Zed 101.9 FM. You've been listening to Adele, and you've been listening to Kofi. Their details would be on the Zed Facebook platform. So if you want to reach out to them and attend their schools, or let your kids attend, most importantly, you would be able to. But furnishing is supposed to add dignity to you, the human being, no matter your age, no matter your economic status. We are not on this earth to struggle and suffer intermittently till we die. No, at some point, it has to balance, it has to connect. And furnishing is one of those things that you can do intentionally. You can always find your level in terms, so don't say it's expensive. No, you can always find your level and build on that level. All right. So we are out, and don't tune off. There's Highway 1019 and other interesting programs from now till next week Friday, where I come again and sit down. DJ. All right, have a good weekend. Bye.
Big energy, Ashanti International. Not a king in the building, not a king, not a queen. Scary.